Hey buddies, I had this question about how to put a logo over the corner of a video. So I just got the old Google logo here, and if I've just got one layer of video, okay, I can just drop that on. Okay, I can make it as long as the video, basically stretch that out of the whole length of video. And what I need to do is set it to be picture in picture, like that. Okay, and I can actually change the size. Okay, and another thing I need to do is on the style, do it as fit. There we go. Because sometimes the edges will get cropped. If I do it like crop to fill, if it's set to that, sometimes it'll come out, you know, crop. So I'll make sure it's set on this little cutting out fit. Okay, there you go. That'll get rid of any kind of cropping issues, and I can just reposition that on there, put it in the corner, for example, make sure it covers the entire length of the video, for example, and then when I export that, I'll have a logo in the corner. But what happens if I've got, say, two videos? I've got a split screen here. Well, one of the limitations of iMovie is that it can only do 2 tracks of video. So if I drop that on top, okay, it actually puts it in as a cut. Okay, I can't have a third layer of video. So what I'd have to do is, let's get rid of this, is take this and go to File, and I'm going to share File, and I'll do it as quality best. Okay, so it'll do it as what's called a ProRes movie, so I won't be losing much like resolution at all. So I'll do next, and I'm just going to stick that on my desktop. There you go. And it'll just take a moment to export. You can see it up at the top there, just doing its thing. So we'll let it do that. Okay, so I'm going to import media. Go to import media. Go to my desktop. Content created. There it is. There's that one. Import. Okay. So let's get rid of this, for example. Okay. There's my exported film. So it's one layer now. Okay, I've dragged it back into iMovie. Now I can take my logo. I can put that on top. And I've got that. And I'm going to go to have it as picture in picture on this option here. Picture in picture. Okay, you can't see that. Just click on this little icon here. Picture in picture, like so. And then I can take the fit here, make sure it's on that. Okay, and now I can move that about. I can like reposition it. I can put it in the corner. Okay, and then I can re-export that as in my normal format. So I want to do it for share, export file. I'll do it as like high, and then I'll get like a much smaller film. It'll be perfect for uploading to YouTube, for example, and that will be my logo in the corner. But one thing that's important about this logo is it's got a transparency. Okay, so it's got a clear background. And what I don't want is, for example, a white or a black background. I want to be able to see through it and see the video underneath it. So what I had to do with this logo, I just went on and just downloaded the first logo that came up online as an example, hence Google. Okay, so here I used a photo editor, okay, to transform it into a PNG with transparency, because JPEG doesn't support transparency. So if you've got a JPEG, you won't be able to have a clear background. Okay, but if you've got a PNG or a TIFF, you will. So what I did was, rather than use Photoshop, because you might not have Photoshop, I used an online editor. There's a free one that I found called Pixlr. There you go, pixlr.com. And I choose to open image. Here it is. And I used the magic selection tool here. Added a little bit of feather in. Okay. Took the tolerance up a little bit, like so. And there we go. And I just used that to... Okay, it kind of selected that. And then you can see it's made a selection. Okay, I'm going to hit backspace, and then I'm going to go File, Export, Export Image as PNG. Okay, and and then I can do that. Save that. Save. Okay, and then when I go to File, okay, Import Media. There it is. Import selected. You can see there. Just get rid of that one. There you go. Drop that on. You can see it's got the transparency. So what I need to do is, okay, make it fit. Go to here, make it picture in picture, and then I can move it about. I can resize it, and there you go. Make it the whole length of there. And now, again, I've got my logo on the screen. Okay, so that's basically what you want to do. You want to make sure your logo's got transparency. You can either use Photoshop or an online picture editor to do that. And then you just need to use this kind of picture in picture, make sure the actual crop setting's right, fit, and then you can reposition it on the screen like so. And then you've got what you want. So I hope that's useful. Thank you.